Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Vandamuri Sarvadhana Mate Vandamuri Sarvadhana Mate Jahara Prasade Bhai E Bhavatoriya Krishna Prapti Hoite Krishna Prapti Hoite Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitat Goriya Aikya Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitat Goriya Aikya Arna Koriya Mane Asha Arna Koriya Mane Asha Shri Guru Charane Radhe Aise Uttama Gati Shri Guru Charane Radhe Aise Uttama Gati चक्षुदान दिलो दे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो दे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित Vishishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashtata Dishitarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Srila Prabhupada ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki.
Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Prem se kaho Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Shri Giri Govardhan ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Shri Navdeep Mayapur Dham ki, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गंगा माई की, जमुना माई की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी महारानी की, कलियुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, बृहत मृदंग ट्रांसीडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, ट्रांसीडेंटल प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glorious to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glorious to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories Srila Prabhupada. The translation of the prayers that we just sang is, the lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attend pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and the Lord and master of all the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, Hare Krishna everyone. We welcome you all to our Sunday Feast program. Today's talk will be given by a very special guest all the way from Manchester. His name is Sundar Chaitanya Das. He is currently doing a study in Cambridge University. And he has come up with a very wonderful topic today. Talking the talk but missing the walk. Is it interesting? Talking the talk but missing the walk. Yeah, so it's a very exciting topic we have, and we're very eager to hear from him. So he's here, Sundar Chaitanya, a young man. So please welcome in our congregation by 3 times loudly chanting, Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. So the talk will be given from that side, so we can all now face towards that side. Those who want to sit on the chair, please feel free to sit on the chair. And the rest who want to sit on the floor, are most welcome to sit on the floor. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming on this not very sunny Sunday. to ISKCON Stoke. I should say before I begin that Balaram is my best friend since childhood, and Radha Mohan Prabhuji and Priyani Mataji are just like my parents, senior to my parents. So I'm very grateful to be here in their association, in this beautiful place that they've created. And they've done so much service here, so I'm honored to be able to serve alongside them. Before we begin, we always sing this little bhajan, just to invoke auspiciousness and to align our mood with where we want to go. And so our destination in spiritual life is we're trying to go back to God, not just as an abstract concept, but God is called Krishna. He has a name, he has a form, he has activities, he has pastimes. And so this bhajan over here, Srila Prabhupada describes, is like the CV of God. So this is what Krishna does in his free time. So with this we'll begin. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari 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 Jaya Yashodhanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodhanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodhanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodhanandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari जय यमुनतिरवनचारी जय कुञ्ज विहारी जय कुञ्ज विहारी जय यमुनतिरवनचारी जय कुञ्ज विहारी जय कुञ्ज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुञ्ज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुञ्ज जय राधा माधव जय कुञ्ज विहारी जय Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki, Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki, Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagavan ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So today we'll be reading from the Bhagavad-Gita. How many of you have heard of the Bhagavad-Gita before? Everyone? Yeah? So the Bhagavad-Gita is this beautiful ancient text which brings to light all these powerful points of wisdom from the East. It's considered the summary text of all of this knowledge. And the Bhagavad-Gita is spoken 5,000 years ago. So you may say, if it's spoken 5,000 years ago, why is it relevant today? Why is it relevant to me and now? This ancient text not only provides the answers to Arjuna, who is in a difficult situation 5,000 years ago, but it provides answers to the problems that we face in our day-to-day lives. And so these beautiful lessons that we can take aren't just left for something in the abstract past, but something that we can practically apply in our lives in the present day. Arjuna is found in a difficult situation where he's fighting a war between everyone that he loves. His own family, his near family are on his side, and then his distant family are on the other side. And he looks across this battlefield, and he's observing, seeing his fathers, his grandparents, his cousins, his relatives, his teachers. And he's in this perplexed situation. What should I do? Should I fight or should I not? And for those of you that know the context of the Bhagavad-Gita, what actually happens is this is a fight between good and evil, right? Arjuna is on the side of righteousness. And although all the people on the other side are on the side of evil, he still has that feeling in his heart. Should I fight or should I not? And in that difficult situation, he then turns to Krishna for help. He presents his arguments, 4 different reasons of why he shouldn't fight. One reason is his family is on the other side. It can't be any good to get into problems with your own family. Another reason is that of compassion. Surely it's just better to forgive. They might be evil, but what do? Let's just forgive. So like this, he proposes various theories. Another theory he puts forth is that if the warriors, that group of society, all leave, or there is problems in that class of society, then there will be no proper governance. And if there's no proper rulers, then society falls into disarray. So he proposes various arguments, but ultimately he finds himself stuck in a very difficult situation. And he has what we would now call a panic attack. His bow slips from his hand, his skin is burning, the hairs of his body are standing on end, and he falls down with his head in his hands in his chariot. "Oh Krishna, what do I do? What should I do?" And so, in Bhagavad-Gita, the first chapter, he just presents his arguments. And he ends up in this difficult situation where he doesn't know what to do. Now, I might speak to you. How many of you have been in a situation on a battlefield where you've had to fight against everyone around you with your own family? Everyone here will say no. Never happened to me. Don't worry, I'm not predicting the future. But how is it relevant, you know? I've never had to stand on a battlefield. I've never had to look out over the army. We're in a situation in life many times where we analyze things around us, and what happens is we become paralyzed, right? Analysis and paralysis. We study the environment, we study our circumstances, we think, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's best for me. How many of you have been like that in your life? You've had those moments where you've just studied and you think, I don't know what to do. I'm thinking about everything, but I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong. And so Arjuna finally comes to this position where he realizes, actually, I just don't know what to do. And in the seventh verse of the second chapter, he surrenders to Krishna. He surrenders to Krishna and he says that I will become your disciple and I will follow what you tell me. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. And so the verse that we'll be reading today is Krishna speaking to Arjuna in that context. Bhagavad-Gita chapter 2, verse 11. Krishna is now speaking to Arjuna who has taken shelter of him. And, verse 11 in chapter 2. So he's taken a moment, he's now humbled, he's now surrendered, and Krishna is now speaking. Now in that kind of situation, if you were there and your friend is in difficulty, what will you do? What will you say? You'll probably say, don't worry, it's okay. But Krishna is a true friend. He doesn't lie to Arjuna. In fact, he speaks quite harshly to him, as you'll see in this verse. So if we can go to the word for word. A little bit lower, thank you. So if you can all repeat after me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Ashochan, not worthy of lamentation. Anvashochaha, you are lamenting. Tvam, you. Prajnavadhan, learned talks. Cha, also. Bhashase, speaking. Gata, lost. Asun, life. Agata, not past. Asun, life. Cha, also. Na, never. Anushochanti, lament. Panditaha, the learned. So if we can go to the verse. You can repeat after me, line by line. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Ashocyanan Vashoschastvam Prajnavadhamscha bhashase Gatasun agatasumscha Nanusochanti pandita Ashocyanan vashoschastvam Prajnavadhamscha bhashase Gatasun agatasumscha Nanusochanti pandita Ashocyanan vashoschastvam Prajnavadhamscha bhashase Gatasuna gatasumscha Nanusochanti pandita Prabhus? Anyone? Ashocyananvashocastvam Prajnavadhamscha bhashase Gatasumscha Nanushocanti pandita. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Ashocyananvashocastvam Prajnavadhamscha bhashase Gatasumscha Nanushocanti panditaha. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Ashocyananvashocastvam Prajnavadhamscha bhashase Gatasumscha Nanushocanti pandita. Matajis. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Ashocyananvashocastvam Prajnavadhamscha bhashase Gatasumscha Nanushocanti pandita. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Ashocyananvashocastvam Prajnavadhamscha bhashase Gatasumscha Nanushocanti pandita. Okay, so we'll go to the translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Goes the purport. Purport is written by our dearest, His Divine Grace, Abhaycharananda Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The Lord at once took the position of a teacher and chastised the student, calling him indirectly a fool. The Lord said, "You are talking like a learned man, but you do not know that one who is learned, one who knows what is body and what is soul, does not lament at any stage of the body, neither in the living nor in the dead condition." As explained in the later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit, and the controller of both. Arjuna argued that religious principles should be given more importance than politics or sociology. But he did not know that the knowledge of matter, soul, and the supreme is even more important than religious formularies. And because he was lacking in that knowledge, he should not have posed himself as a very learned man. As he did not happen to be a very learned man, he was consequently lamenting for something which was unworthy of lamentation. The body is born and is destined to be vanquished today or tomorrow. Therefore, the body is not as important as the soul. One who knows this is actually learned, and for him there is no cause for lamentation, regardless of the condition of the material body. We're going to recite some Mangalacharan prayers so that we can enter into the actual analysis of this text by taking shelter of our spiritual authorities. If I go to your house and I open the door and I just walk in, you'll say, "What's going on?" Knock on the door first. So in that same way, when we go into these spiritual texts, we have to knock on the spiritual door by taking shelter of our spiritual teachers. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Just reminding ourselves of the translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. So, Arjuna has taken shelter of Krishna. And Krishna is not telling him, it's okay, you'll be fine. He's being very heavy on him. Because the spiritual teacher doesn't just tell you what you like, but they tell you what you need to hear. Right? As a true friend, the duty of the spiritual teacher, the spiritual master, is to instruct one in what is right and what is wrong. And so Krishna is telling him, you're speaking all kinds of hi-fi words, prajnavadhams. You're trying to say cool things. But you do not know what is right and what is wrong. In other words, he's calling him a foolish person. So while speaking high-level things, you're actually lamenting for something that's not worthy of lamenting. Many times in our life, we don't like to hear people telling us this, but this is true, right? We think we know what's happening in a situation and we don't want to ask anyone else for help. I know what's right. I know what to do. I don't need to ask Balaram what to do. You know, I know enough about this situation. And so then we do something, or we analyze something, and we don't actually know what to do. And then we start lamenting. What do I do? You know? It's like recently I had to give my exams, and when the exam question comes, sometimes you don't really know what to do. Sometimes I'm looking at the exam and I'm thinking, did I study this subject or is it a different subject? I'm looking at that question and I don't know what to write. But just imagine if I have that same question and I have a teacher who knows that subject properly, right? Should I still be quiet and say I don't need the teacher's help? I should accept, I actually don't know. Let me listen to what the teacher has to say. So many times we talk a lot. We like to present ideas, logic, arguments, our own analysis. But we don't actually know where to go from there. We don't know where to walk. So we like to present the ideas of our own thinking, and we don't actually know where to go. In that same situation, if you're in an exam and you have a teacher there, and you're allowed to ask the teacher, what's the best thing to do? To ask the teacher, right? It's not smart to just sit there with the exam, with the teacher being there ready to help us, and us saying, no, we don't need it. That's why to actually learn, to actually develop knowledge, we have to put ourselves in the position of a student. in a humble position. We have to accept there is a teacher who knows more than me. So in our spiritual life, this is also true. There is no aspect of life where we go through something without having a teacher. Let's say someone's ill and they need a surgery to be performed on them. And I walk in and I say, you know what? I read some textbooks on how to do surgery. I'll do your liver transplant. Right? I've read some books. I've studied some books. You know? What will you say? Will you say yes? No. You'll say, of course not, because you are not trained under a surgeon. If I start fixing your car, you say, I have a car problem. I say, oh, I looked at a YouTube video on how to fix a car. I can fix your car. What will you tell me? Get away from my car. Right? In that same way, in spiritual life as well, we need to have a teacher. Right? I can't give you spiritual advice unless I have taken it from an authoritative source. And so here what Arjuna is doing is he's coming up with his own logic. But the problem is that's flawed. It's like watching that YouTube video to fix a car or reading a book to do a surgery. It's not enough. You have to take the advice of a spiritual authority. And so in our case, we're very fortunate that we have His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, who takes this wisdom of the Vedic literature and makes it bite-sized and accessible and digestible for us in the present day. Right? We're like, I don't know how many of us are Sanskrit scholars, how many of us can study the Vedas inside out. We don't know how to study these kind of deep texts. But what Srila Prabhupada does is he takes this philosophical complexity and he turns it into baby food so that we can digest it. And so we're very fortunate that by his grace we can access this. Right? So Arjuna is now taking shelter of Krishna, and Krishna is telling him, you think you know what you're doing, but you actually don't, and that's why you're lamenting. And so I will provide you real knowledge. So that real knowledge, Srila Prabhupada explains, real knowledge is the knowledge of both matter and spirit. Our material universities and our academic worlds are incredible at providing us knowledge on matter. Right? You have all the natural sciences, the whole field of mathematics. We know a few things about matter. We still have a long way to go. But there is no institution in the world that is actively promoting the knowledge of the spirit. It's very difficult to find such institutions. But the reality is, we're not matter. So why does it matter what we study? We need to understand the self. Who am I? You know, let's say Balaram comes to me and he asks me a question about physics, and I start teaching him about maths. He will say, well, that doesn't actually apply to me. Why are you telling me about this? You know? If I go to you and I say, oh, you know, you asked me this question about science. Let me tell you this about geography. What's the need? We must understand the present need of society. Society is making technological advancement and scientific progress, but it is forgetting the knowledge of the self, the knowledge of the spirit, the knowledge of consciousness. And so the gap in society right now is spiritual knowledge and spiritual awareness. When Srila Prabhupada comes from India to America in 1965, he writes on his visa his profession, not as a guru, not as a Vedic scholar, but as a teacher. He says his profession is a teacher because he has come to teach this knowledge of spirit. So we don't tell you that you neglect matter. Matter is important. This is good that you are taking care of your body. But what we say is it's very important to focus on the spirit. This body is compared to a cage, right? And the self is compared to a bird inside that cage. Our identity is not actually this body. This is going to freak you out a little bit. But my body is dead. It's matter. It has no life to it. I'm animating this body with spirit, right? So this body doesn't have any power of movement on its own. But in the same way, when you put your hand into a puppet, you can make the puppet dance. So the spirit has now filled my body with life. The self, the soul has filled my body with life, and so my body can move. Right? And so this is the same principle. This is discussed more in detail in the 13th chapter of the Gita, the fields of consciousness. So this phone, on its own, it can't move. But because it's connected to my hand, which is conscious because of myself, my spirit, it's able to move. Right? So I am animating this phone because I am conscious. So I am animating my body, and my body is then moving my phone. And so in that way, our identity is actually deeper than the body. When someone asks us our identity, we never tell them our identity. We just tell them what's going on in our life. We tell them what's around us in our circumstances. We never tell them our real identity. If I have a glass ball in the middle of a room, and I surround it with all kinds of objects, toys, books, technology, and I say, tell me about the glass ball, and you say, oh, it's near some books. Oh, it's near these toys. Oh, it's near that, technological equipment. I can say, okay, that's very nice, but what is that glass ball? I don't know what it's made of. I just know it's around those things. That means we don't actually know what that is. What's that glass ball? So when people ask you, who are you? And you say, oh, I do swimming. I play cricket. I'm working as a software engineer. You're actually not telling them who you are. You're telling them what's happening circumstantially around you. The real question is, we don't even know who we are. There's so many philosophers obsessed. Prove the existence of God. Prove that you exist. Can we prove that we exist? Do we know who we are? This is very important. And so, it's understood that our body is animated because of the self, the spirit soul, the Atma, which is within. And in that same way that you have to clean the cage, you also have to take care of the bird inside. In the same way you take care of your car, there's also a driver that has to be taken care of. And those things are separate. The food for the car is fuel, petrol. But if you give petrol to the driver, it's not going to look good. It's a different food. You need to give actual food to the driver. The driver is like the self, the spirit, the Atma. And the car is like the body. You're going to clean the cage, right? And you'll clean it nicely. That's important. But you have to feed the bird inside. What happens if you take care of the cage and you leave the bird inside? The bird will die. So what's the use of an amazing cage if there's no bird? What's the use of an amazing car if there's no driver? In the same way, what's the use of this body if the spirit hasn't been taken care of? So the food for the body, you already know how to take care of your body. The whole of society can teach you how to take care of your body. But more importantly, how can we take care of the self? What is food for the soul? How can I nourish the Atma, the real me within this? This is the question that we need to think about. It's understood that by coming and getting spiritual knowledge, we are able to reconnect, understand our real identity. We'll be able to look in the real mirror and see the nature of reality. But right now, we're in illusion. We don't know. And so that's why we worry about things that we don't need to worry about so much. How many of you remember when you were a child and maybe a toy broke and you sat there for hours complaining? I still remember when I was younger. I won't tell the story too much, but I'll say that Balaram and I, we were playing with one toy in my back garden, and for some reason he thought it was very funny to throw it into the neighbor's garden. It was a toy that I really liked playing with. He just thought it was funny and he threw it, and I still remember I threw such a big tantrum because I thought at that time, that toy is my life and soul. How dare he throw my aeroplane into someone else's garden? But my parents didn't worry at all. And also his parents also didn't mind. And I was thinking, what's wrong with these people? Do they not understand? But I was the one who didn't understand. Because it's just a toy. None of you get worried when your kids start complaining about losing a toy, because you have real knowledge. You know the toy actually doesn't have any value, right? But because the kid doesn't know, and they are in illusion, they think the toy is everything, that when they lose that toy, they become distraught. So they worry about things that they should not worry about. But as the adult, you know the toy is only 50p, we can go and get it from another shop. It's not a real problem. So therefore, you do not worry. In that same way, we are worrying so much because we think that this life is all there is. But it's a small glimpse in a much bigger picture. And so we worry about things that we don't need to worry about because we don't see bigger problems. We don't see the bigger issues, you know? For the adults, they're too busy worrying about taxes and their job and their salary, that losing a toy aeroplane means nothing to them, right? And so then, because they've seen bigger problems, this problem is so small now, it's not even worth worrying about. So when you scale out even further and you realize, actually, even if I do have an amazing job, even if I do pay my taxes, even if I do figure out what career I want to go into, at the end of this life, I'm not taking anything with me, any of those things. So I need to worry about other things. I need to worry about, am I nourishing the self, the Atma, the soul? Am I actually becoming happy? Right? That's what we have to worry about. And so in that same way, Krishna is telling Arjuna, you're worrying about the body because you don't know the self, you don't know the soul. In the same way that I was worrying about that toy all those years ago, because I didn't know, I didn't have knowledge. And so come out of this illusion, you need knowledge. So the whole process of Bhagavad-Gita is Krishna providing encouragement, but not just words of encouragement. He's providing knowledge for encouragement. Okay? And so he tells us in the Gita that the self is different from from matter, and the way to nourish the self is by spiritual practice. Okay? And that spiritual practice is connecting the Atma to its source. Right? If my finger is disconnected from my body, it has no use. It won't be able to do anything. Right? But as soon as it's connected to my body, it's able to actually move around, it's able to become useful. Right? When your hair is not on your head, when it's falling, what do? Do you style it nicely on the floor? You just pick it up and throw it in the bin. But that same hair, when it's on the head, you take care of it so nicely, you apply products, you make sure it looks very good, right? So the hair has value when it's connected to the head, not when it's on the floor. Nails, I mean, I don't take care of my nails very well, but I know, some people, they paint them, they put varnish, they'll go for manicure and things like this. When they're on the body, as soon as your nail piece comes off, when you clip your nails, do you store them in a box? Do you say, wow, look, these are my nails? You throw them in the bin. They have no value, right? They're not connected to the body. Teeth. I mean, some babies do keep their teeth, but when you lose a tooth, you don't sit there and cherish it, and it has no value. You just throw in the bin. So in this way, the value of the self, its real value, is found when it's connected to the divine, when it's connected to God. And that supreme, that divine, is a person, and is called Krishna, the all-attractive. And so in the same way, the hair has no value when it's not on the head, the nail has no value, etc., unless it's connected to the body, our real value is found when we're connected to God, to Krishna. That process of connecting to God is called yoga. You've probably heard of this term, yoga, all the time. Yoga means to connect. Not just to connect to yourself, that's important, but to connect the self to the supreme. And so this knowledge is what the Gita discusses. And you might think, wait a minute, this is all weird and not necessary, and I've lived my whole life without knowing this. What's the use of me knowing this now? Once that bird has been fed, the cage then comes to life. Once the driver is properly energized, they'll be able to drive amazingly well. In that same way, once the soul has been nourished, the activities of the body become divine, they become transcendental. And so everything that Arjun does, of course, I'm going to spoil the Gita for you now. Arjun listens to Krishna and he takes this knowledge seriously. And he says, Nashto moha smritir labdva. My illusion is dispelled, my doubts are destroyed. Tvat prasadhan mayachita. By your mercy, O Krishna. Stitosmi gata sandyeha. I'm now rejuvenated, I'm now ready, I know what my situation is, I know what my position is. Karishye vachanam tava. And I will do what you have told me. From anxious, scared, worried, he becomes confident, powerful, bold. He completely changes. And he goes on to win the war against evil. So in our life as well, we want to find a way of connecting ourselves to the divine. Otherwise, what we'll do is we'll talk all these talks. We'll change all these policies. But we won't be able to make people happy, genuinely happy. Because we don't know who they are, we don't know how to take care of them. You know, these material solutions that we create, we might create different policies, we might create different ideas, different structures, different regimes. They won't do anything. Because in the end of the day, this is all taking care of the cage or the car. It's not taking care of the bird or the driver. Right? So even if the government now puts £400 billion into the NHS, it won't make you happy. For you to become happy, you have to connect to God. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but I'm saying we shouldn't neglect this, the real self. So you might say, okay, connecting to God, what does that mean? Connecting to God, God is a person. Remember this, God is a person. Let's say my dear friend Balaram is here, okay? And you want to connect to Balaram. How would you connect to him? Put your hand up, give me a solution. How would you connect to Balaram if you want to know about Balaram? Anyone? Okay, so she's saying talk to you, right? You can talk to Balaram. You can say, Balaram, how are you? What do you do? Okay. Okay, so yeah, let's say you can't access Balaram because he's such a busy person of such high profile and high status. You'll go to his parents, right? And you'll ask them questions. You'll talk to people that know him. So if I approach him with loving, like in a loving way, then he will tell me about him, right? He will tell me this is what I do, this is what food I like to eat. I don't like raisins in my sweet rice. I don't like grapes either in my sweet rice. You know, these kind of things he will say. I don't like peas. So he will tell you all about him if I approach him in a loving way. Imagine if I approach Balaram in a very angry way. I come up and I start shouting at him, oh, you rascal. Do you think he's going to tell me what he likes? Do you think I will understand him? You know what he will say? Please don't punch me, but he'll probably punch me or he'll probably kick me. I'll have to go running away crying. I won't understand anything about him. I won't be able to connect to him. If you want to connect to a person, you have to approach them with love. If you want to connect to Krishna, you have to approach him with love. If you start challenging God, then of course you can't connect to him. In the same way that you can't connect to a person, you have to approach with love. Love is not a sentimental thing, it's the basis of philosophy. If I want to understand Balaram, I have to try and love him. You know, I have to have some loving feeling. Otherwise he'll think this person just hates me. He won't tell me anything about him, he won't reveal himself. And as you said amazingly, which is, let's say I can't access him, because, you know, Krishna is sometimes difficult to access. What should I do? I go to the people that love Balaram already. Right? And so his parents love him. So I can go to them and I can ask them, yeah, what does Balaram like? What food does he not like? If I do this sport, will he want to come? I can ask them those questions. I can get knowledge about Balaram by trying to love him, but even if I can't love him, I can love his parents. And because they love him, I can understand him. This process in scripture is called parampara. Right? We might not be able to love God so much now because it's difficult to access him for various reasons. But we can love the people that love God. Right? And then they'll reveal God to us because they know God. You see? In the same way that Balaram's parents will tell me, yeah, he doesn't like peas. I don't know if that's true, by the way, I'm just making that up. But he will tell, I don't like this kind of food. I don't like Karela. Okay, fine, I know. Okay, so I can get that knowledge from his parents because if I love his parents, they love him, I can understand about him. So if we want to understand God, we want to connect to God, We have to love the people that love God. Okay? This process is called parampara, disciplic succession. And there is an unbroken chain of lovingness which allows us to understand and love God. Because every person in that chain loves the person before them so much. And it goes all the way from us all the way back to God. So this is how we can connect to God. That's one way you can connect to God, by loving the people that love God. The second way that you can connect to God is that God in this age, Krishna in this age, has appeared in the form of his holy names. My name, Sundar Chaitanya, and myself, the real me, are two different things. Right? My name and myself are not the same thing. But Krishna is absolute. God is absolute. There is no difference between the name of God and God himself. No difference at all. Abhinnatvam nama namino. There is no difference. The name Krishna is non-different to the person Krishna. But there's a difference between them. Vachyam vachakamityudheti bhavato nama svarupa dvayam purvasmat parameva hanta karunam tatrapi jani mahe. The name of God and God are non-different, but the name of God is more merciful than God himself. Simple experiment to prove this. How many of you came here because Krishna came into your dream and said, come to ISKCON Stoke? Anyone? No. How many of you came here because you got connected to the holy names, which are non-different from the word, the names of God? How many of you came here because you read the books, who are non-different from, the books are non-different from God? They are directly his words, his mercy, it's directly his manifestation. How many of you came here because you connected to devotees, who are merciful manifestations of Krishna? Krishna comes to you through the devotees. How many of you came through these methods? Everyone, right? So we've actually proven that Krishna, yes, he's very merciful, but he's even more merciful in the form of his name and the form of his devotees. This is how Krishna is even more merciful. It's not that the devotees of Krishna are Krishna. That's not the case. It's the devotees of Krishna love Krishna so much that you can know Krishna by being connected to them. Okay? But the name of Krishna is non-different from Krishna. So the devotees are different. They just love him a lot. The name is non-different. So when you say Krishna, you are in direct connection with God. And you might think this is not true. So, spiritual life is a science. Science means hypothesis, experiment, observation, conclusion. I've proposed the hypothesis. The name of Krishna is non-different from Krishna. By chanting the names of Krishna, you will be in touch with Krishna. I ask you all, carry out the experiment. Try it. Try chanting the names of Krishna. Try and chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra and see how your life changes. See how you feel when you actually try and connect to God. So, coming back to this, where did this story come from? We are not this body, we are the self. The self finds its real purpose when it's united with the divine, Krishna. And to connect to the divine, we can do that through two ways. One way, connecting to those people that love Krishna. That's one way we can connect to Krishna. And another way we can connect to Krishna is through his names, by chanting his names. Because his names are non-different from him. And so it's a very powerful process which is provided by scripture. When we take these names seriously and we take these devotees who are connected to Krishna seriously, then our life transforms. Because Krishna becomes manifest. It's very powerful. In this process, in the age of Kali, we're in an age of quarrel and hypocrisy. It's difficult for other methods to provide any use. That's why it's mentioned in the scripture, the Bhagavatam. What is the best welfare activity for society in general? And interestingly, Sutta Goswami doesn't say it's providing a certain amount of money of funding to different groups of society. He doesn't say that a change of government is the best way of actually favoring society, of bringing welfare. He doesn't say that simply a study of politics, sociology, economics, and geography is the way of bringing about welfare to the world. He concludes the Srimad Bhagavatam by saying, Nama sankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranashanam pranamo dukkha shamanas tam namami harim param. He says the best way of bringing welfare to the world now is by taking shelter of the names of Krishna. And so we say to all of you, please carry on with all the things that you're doing to take care of your body. This is important. A bird will struggle to live in a bad cage, and a driver will struggle without a good car. But what's more important? The spirit is more important than the body. The bird is more important than the cage, and the driver is more important than the car. And so I request all of you to not give up the attention that you put on your body. This is very important. But to not neglect the attention to the self. Because in the end of the day, this body we won't take. But the Atma moves on. And if we nourish it and we provided that spiritual food through the association of the devotees and through chanting the holy names, then we have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So, we can all do our analysis and we can all talk our talks. But if we miss this real knowledge, then we won't be able to walk anywhere. We'll be stuck in the same position. We want to move forward, then we need to take the spiritual knowledge of the Vedic scriptures. So I plead with all of you now to take seriously the association of the devotees and the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all so much. Do we have any questions? Okay, do we have any challenges? Okay, so either you have understood everything or you've not understood anything at all. I will ask you some questions and we'll see what you say. I'll become devil's advocate, yeah? All right, this is a very nice argument. To chant Hare Krishna, to connect with devotees, I'm sure it's great, but you know, in the end of the day, I've been surviving all my years right now. I've not had to do any of that. And I'm not really that upset, you know, like life is okay. It's not that bad. So what will I really gain from chanting? What would you say? What will I really gain from chanting? Okay. Okay, yeah, so it's always going to be better when we chant. Anything else? Anyone? What is the value of spiritual practice? No value?
It's a spiritual practice that we carry after this life, whereas anything which is related to the physical body, we keep it at the rest.
Beautiful answer, yeah. Can we give a round of applause for that? That's amazing. Spiritual practices we carry after this life. Material things, we leave them at the end of this life. If that doesn't convince you, let me just provide a bit of logic. If you sacrifice the imperishable, spiritual, for the perishable, the material, then you will lose the imperishable because you sacrificed it. You will never have anything spiritual because you gave it up. And you will lose the perishable, the material, because by definition, it's perishable. So if you sacrifice the imperishable spiritual for the perishable material, you will lose the imperishable spiritual and the perishable material. But whereas if you take to spiritual life, then no matter what happens to this body, you have nothing to lose. There are people who in this day and age have proven this to us. A great personality by the name of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami. His body had melanoma cancer. He was in a very, very difficult, dire situation. And in his final days, although the body is causing excruciating pain, he was regularly hearing scriptures. He was regularly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. And he was regularly associating with genuine devotees. And even in that position of pain and suffering, he said, it doesn't get better than this. He was having so much bliss that he said, it doesn't get better than this. This is what spiritual practice is like. It's not artificial, it's a real thing that will transform our life. So yes, it will actually last with us lifetime to lifetime. Okay, then another point that I can be as devil's advocate, I'll say, how can I say that this body is not me? If you ask me who I am, the one thing I've associated with my whole life is this body. So who are you to say that it's not me? What would you say? How would you respond to this? Someone comes up to you on the street and says, you went to ISKCON Stoke, and they say that you're not the body. How would you tell them? There's no right answers, I'm just asking. Yes?
Yesterday we were reading out the children's book. That was her question. She was actually asking, I was asking her, who are you? What do you think? And if your body belongs to you. And she couldn't answer that because she's so attached to it. Not only her, all of us.
All of us.
Yeah, and that was the question that I was actually trying to understand myself. So I know that I'm not this body, that doesn't belong to me. But how I do know that, how it's different. I can say that doesn't belong to you. How do you understand that?
Okay, so she's the real genius here. She flipped the question back on me. Okay, very simple. The first thing I would say is that matter doesn't move. Matter never has life. Matter never has proven to have life. We have all kinds of experiments trying to create life out of matter. We've never been able to do that. Number one, life comes from life, never from matter. When they cloned the sheep, Dolly the sheep, who you might have heard of, they cloned a sheep. From what? They took cells of already living animals and then created the sheep. So life has come from life. That's the first thing. So to understand that we're not the body is matter, but we are living. So that means we are coming from something that's not just matter, we're not just this body. The second thing is that matter does not, in and of itself, have these features of consciousness. If you go to the scientists now and ask them, why am I feeling pain? If you put a pinprick in your arm, why do you feel pain? They'll say, okay, so what happens is you prick your arm, that sends an electrical signal via the nerve to your brain and you feel pain. They don't explain why the electrical signal makes you feel pain. They just say it does. Because we are not like inert. We have consciousness. We have thinking, we have feeling, we have willing. This means that we are different from this body. So the first thing, life comes from life. Second thing, we are conscious. We have the fact of qualia. Your eyes right now are seeing all these photons that are coming in. They're taken as electrical signals to the brain. But how does the brain know to recognize this as image? It doesn't. It's actually consciousness. The matter in itself is not doing this. It's consciousness that's allowing you to experience. So that's the second thing, consciousness. The third thing are things like reincarnation studies. Dr. Ian Stevenson and his whole set of work on reincarnation, he's a Nobel Prize winner. He did a lot of work on reincarnation and he proved that people have memories of their past existence because they're not actually the body. There's something more that lives from one lifetime to another, that continues. So these reincarnation studies are also there. So these three things, they can prove to us, oh no, there's one more thing, 4 things, out-of-body experience and near-death experiences. People report the exact same thing. There's a surgical operation or something of that sort, and they say, I saw myself hovering above my own body. I saw myself hovering above my own body, and I saw a tunnel of light, and I started moving through that tunnel of light, and then all of a sudden there was so much pain, and I got just forced back into my body. And so they will tell you, I heard this conversation of this person saying that I saw this thing in the room. And they will tell you all the things that happened in the operation, even though they were brain dead. They didn't have any physical symptom of life. Because the life is not just of this body. So there's 4 things that we can use to explain to other people that we're not this body. 1, life comes from life, not from matter. 2, we are conscious. 3, reincarnation studies, and 4, near-death experiences and out-of-body experiences. So these are the 4 things we can use to explain to people, to understand that there's something more than this body. Okay? I think we'll conclude with that for today. I request everyone to please take the association of the devotees and the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra very seriously. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Did you all enjoy this wonderful talk? Yeah. Are you all serious about Krishna consciousness? Are you all serious about to become happy? Yeah, or we still have, our great desire to become unhappy. Yeah. Sundar Chaitanya has been a student of Bhagavad-Gita since his childhood. He and Balram, from his childhood, they were, studying, Bhagavad-Gita and discussing amongst them. And you can see these children, they are given choice. They are not fed the knowledge. They are given choice. You analyze the things and make a choice. And when they're given a choice, they take wonderful conclusions out of it. Yeah, some of the things these children, they put forward, studying the same Bhagavad-Gita that we read so many times. It's a wonderful conclusions. So very, very grateful, that these children, they are studying our scripture so nicely and sharing with all of us. Did we all benefited from his realizations? The way he sees life, the way he sees, how the society is going on. Some of the scientific things, even we do not know how they are being done, but they do nice, reconciliation between scientific life and spiritual life. Yeah, so we like to have more of Sundar Chaitanyas in Stoke-on-Trent? Yeah, sure? Yeah, so you have to say 3 loud Haribols if you want him back again. Haribo! 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 Thank you very much, Sundar Chaitanya. It was very wonderful of you. I really enjoyed your talk. So I personally also want you more and more here. And one thing I must say, I'm very proud of you.
I'm completely made at the mercy of Balaram from his family, because I still remember the first time that I actually asked this question in his class. In 2012, I was 8 years old, and he did a class on the verse after this, Dehi Rosmi, 2.13. And I put my hand up and I said, I can't see the soul. And he proved with his argument, so I'm completely made.
Very well. Yeah, he's very kind. So now when he talked about yoga, connecting with the Supreme. So one of the easiest way is connecting the Supreme is by dancing and chanting. So now we're going to do a nice dancing and chanting. We have a wonderful devotees from Liverpool, Sundar Prabhu and Sita Mataji. So they're going to lead us into the kirtan. So in this kirtan, just hear this holy name, as Sundar Chaitanya said, that Krishna's name and Krishna is non-different. And when you chant Krishna's name, actually you are with Krishna, you are with the God. So enjoy this wonderful chanting. And some of us will be dancing, and you can all join us. It's free. We don't charge for you to dance. Other places, if you go to nightclub, you have to pay, and then you have to dance. Then you have to dance so hard because you have paid. So you are forced to dance. Here it's free. You can just dance. And after the dance, we'll have a nice food. Nice Krishna Prasad waiting for us. The cooks are cooking for last few hours for us. So delicious prasadam is waiting for us. And this is how we become happy. We do it every Sunday. Every single Sunday we do this activity. And I request all of you to please join us again every Sunday. And bring your friends and relatives. Those who want to become happy in their life, bring them here. So now let's stand now and then let's do this wonderful kirtan together. Hare Krishna.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय प्रभुपाद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Prabhupada. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokulanand Radha Gokulanand Radhe. Jaya Radha Gokulanand Radha Gokulanand Shri Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Privrajikacharya Ashtottara Sat Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya BBD founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Privrajikacharya Ashtottara Sat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रज भूमि श्री मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय, पूर्ण पुरुषोत्तम श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रमयी रथ यात्रा महामहोत्सव की जय, गंगा मैया जमुना मैया की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी महारानी की जय, गोलोकेर प्रेम जन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद ट्रांसडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Gaur Hari Bol.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Lad Daine. Hiranyakashi Purakshaha. Shilatanka Nakalaye. Nasimha Ato Nasimha Parato Nasimha Yeto Yeto Yavitato Nasimha Bahe Nasim Nasimo Nasim Gamil Tanu Gringa Keshava Dveta Nava Hare Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Keshava Dveta Nara Hara Rupa Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha. Jai Narasimhadev ki Jai. Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai.
Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Sarva Punyavatam Rajan Vishwasoyani Vajayate Sarirara Vidyajal Chorin Diye Tahe Kal जीवे फेले विषय सागरे तारमज्जिवायति लोभो मायसु दुर्मति ताके जेठा कठिन संसारे जय निमाय जय निताय जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
महाप्रसादम की
Hare Krishna. Please give a big round of applause to our wonderful devotees. Hare Krishna. So, couple of quick announcements before we go for the prasadam. Prabhuji, is the sound on? Yeah, Hari Bol. Yeah. Next Sunday, most of us are going to London for London Rath Yatra. So, our coach is announced, it's quite been full for quite some time. We had some cancellations last week, but it was immediately filled up by the waiting devotees. So, we have no waiting list now, and we have no seats available. But if you are still thinking of coming to London Rath Yatra, then give me your names today. If any cancellation comes, we'll take you with us on tomorrow, the next Sunday, to London Rath Yatra. After the Rath Yatra, some important festivals are coming. And one of the most important festival of the year is Janmashtami. Shri Janmashtami ki! So this year Janmashtami is on 26th August, which is the bank holiday Monday. Yeah, so even UK governments are celebrating Janmashtami. There's a bank holiday on that day. Yeah, so it is on Monday. So we have a set Sunday, which is we have regular program. Then we have Monday bank holiday. And on Tuesday, we celebrate Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. So how we are going to do it? We are still working out the schedule, but there will be a very wonderful festival coming up in August. And before Janmashtami, there is a Balram Jayanti, the appearance of Lord Balram. That also will celebrate very nicely in the temple. And after Janmashtami, the most sweet and the most wonderful festival of Radhashtami, appearance of Srimati Radharani, which comes 15 days after the Janmashtami. So we'll be celebrating these wonderful festivals, and we'll give you more information as time comes closer. But you can please mark this date, 26 August. This is the day of Janmashtami, which is Monday, bank holiday Monday. And of course, after that, many other festival is coming. The Govardhan Puja, and then many other festivals are coming during the same time. So please keep coming, and you can enjoy the festivals at our temple. Any other announcements, Sudarshan? Yes, so next week there will be no program at the temple. Earlier we thought we'll have a program, somebody will do it, but I think most of us are going, so they won't be here in the temple. So we'll all be having our party in London. So if you miss out, see you next week, week after that. Sandarshan, today's any sponsor for today? Okay. So Aurora family is sponsor. Okay. So anonymous donor ki jai. Okay. So this time we like to welcome our new guests who come for the first time. We have my good friend Nick. He has come after a long time. He's just standing up here. Nick has been, our supporter and a devotee for a long time. He was kind of a founder member. We used to meet at our house in some schools, and then we used to discuss, wonderful Bhagavad-Gita together. And now Nick has come after a long time. He has brought his good sister as well. She's sitting here. Remind me your name again. Shiron. She has come again, with Nick today. So we welcome these wonderful devotees by 3 times loudly chanting. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. We are so happy that you have come today. And hopefully we'll see you more and more in the temple today. Thank you very much, Nick, for coming today. And then we have a very young devotee come for the first time. Is Damodar Priya here? Where is she? Yeah. You want to bring her in front here? Yeah. Probably come, bring her front. So this is our youngest recruit in Chaitanya's army. You can show it to them. Haribol! So Damodar Priya, she was born on 2nd of April and she wanted to visit Birmingham. So she said, I have some problem in my heart, and she went to Birmingham and she got surgery there. But she's back into the Stoke, and then she's very healthy now. And she's come for the first time to our temple. So we ask all of you to please give your blessings and your prayers that she have a wonderful life ahead in service of Srila Prabhupada. So please chant with me one Hare Krishna Mahamantra together very loudly, okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And her name is Damodar Priya. Damodar Priya Mataji ki Jai. Hare Krishna. She loves it, she didn't cry, otherwise children cry. Hare Krishna. Krishna. Anybody has come for a first time to our temple? Have I missed anyone? No? Okay. Are you sure? Nobody's, I think some we always, oh, Prabhuji, we have first time today? Yeah? Would you like to introduce yourself if you don't mind? Oh, really? Yeah. Thank you, Anil, for coming to our temple today. Hope you like the program today. Yeah. So please welcome Anil and Shalin to our temple by 3 times loudly chanting, Haribo, 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 Hare Krishna. So any other announcements? Am I missing it? I think you're all hungry now. I am hungry. So let's go upstairs and have prasadam. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.